Welcome to 68 squares and 70 moves new Giraffe chessboard under 17 boys singles and doubles tournament. Let us watch boys under 17 Giraffe chess tournament's singles finals match between Nandan Sai versus Nawaz Sheikh. Now it is the time for toss, and in the toss won by the Nawaz Sheikh and opted to play first game of best of 3 games on black side. Let us watch. On game 1, Nawaz is playing on white side and Nandan Sai is playing on black side. Nawaz started to move d4, then Nandan Sai e6, then Nawaz c4, Nandan Sai d5, then he moved pawn to e3, then he moved pawn c6, then Nawaz knight c3, then he captured pawn at c4, then he too captured pawn at c4, then Nandan Sai c5. Next, Nawaz knight f3. Then Nandan Sai captured pawn at d4. Then again he captured at d4. Both of them playing nicely. Then he moved pawn to e5. Then Nawaz he moved queen to f3. Then Nandan Sai moved his queen to e7. Then Nawaz knight moved to b5. Then Nandan Sai f6. Then he to knight d5. Now Nandan Sai moved his knight at a6. Then he captured Nawaz at e6, then bishop captured at e7. Now Nawaz knight moved to c3. Now Giraffe moved Nandan Sai c6. Now captured knight at a6. Again captured bishop by a6. Again captured by queen at c6. Now king moved to d8. Again captured by queen at rook at a8. Then h6. Knight moved by Nandan. Then he moved b3. Nawaz. Now Giraffe at moved d6, then Nawaz moved bishop b2, then Giraffe moved to capture at gc3, again captured at bc3. Now Nandan Sai moved knight to d6. Now here is the Nawaz castle on king side. Then he moved knight at d6, then rook at d1, then king moved to e8, Nandan Sai. Now queen moved to c6 and check to black king. Now Nandan Sai, he moved kf7 and removed the check. Now Nawaz, he captured the knight at d6. Now he captured that at d6 by bishop. Then again it is captured by the queen at d6. Now he moved king to g6. Now he moved Giraffe f3. Then he moved king f5. Then he's taken the queen and moved to d2 and check. Now Nandan Sai, he has to remove check. He removed by check e4 by pawn moving. Then again check by queen at d5. Now king removed Nandan Sai from the check g4. Now he moved h2 and check to the black king. Now he removed by moving the king h3. Now Nawaz, he is planning what to do. He moved pawn to g3 and check to the black king. He captured the pawn and it is a checkmate. Nawaz won by the checkmate first game against Nandan Sai in best of 3 games. In best of 3 games, so far one game finished. Nawaz won the first game and lead by 1-0. Now let us watch the second game. In best of 3 games, and Nandan Sai is playing on white side, Nawaz is playing on black side. In first move, Nandan Sai e4 and c5 Nawaz. Then he moved knight c3. Then Nawaz e6. Then he moved d3. Then he moved d5. Then Nandan Sai moved to e5. Then Nawaz at d4. Then he moved knight. He's planning to move knight. Yes, he moved to e4. Then he too moved knight c6. Then Nawaz, he moved to c3, pawn. Now he captured pawn at e5. Then he too captured pawn at d4. Then Nawaz he too captured at d4. Now Nandan Sai, he moved f4. Now Nawaz, he moved knight at c6. Then Nandan Sai, he too moved knight f3. Now Nawaz, he moved pawn to e5. Now Nandan Sai, he captured pawn at e5. He too captured pawn at e5. Then he to capture knight at e5. Then he moved queen to a5 and check. He removed check. Again he captured b d2. Now he moved queen to a4 and check to black king. Then he removed by bishop d7. Now again he moved queen to b3, Nandan Sai. Now Nawaz. He moved pawn to f5. Then he moved queen and captured the pawn at b7. Now he captured the knight at e4. Now Nandan Sai, what he will do now? Let us see. Then he captured pawn at e4. Now Nawaz. He's thinking just behind bishop. Yes, bishop moved to c6. Now Nandan Sai. He moved queen all the way to b3. Then he captured pawn at e4 and check to white king. Now Nandan Sai he removed by moving king at d1. Now he moved pawn d3. Now Nandan Sai he moved bishop and captured at d3. Now Nawaz he moved queen at a4. Now he moved e1 rook and check to black king. Now Nawaz turn. He has to remove check. Yes, by knight e7 he removed check. Now queen captured and captured. Both of them they captured their pieces. Now Nandan Sai he moved king at c1. Then he captured rook at c8 and check. Now he removed check and by moving king at h1. Then Giraffe Nawaz moved gc6. Now Nandan Sai his turn. He moved pawn b3. Now Nawaz is thinking Giraffe captured at bishop d3. He to capture at a4. Now what he will do? Nawaz. Yes, he captured with Giraffe pawn at a4 and check with Giraffe. Yes, he moved k b2, king b2. Then he moved g6. Then queen moved to king moved to a3. Now Nawaz turn. What he will do? He might be using Giraffe. Yes, he touched Giraffe. He moved Giraffe to d5. Now he moved Nandan Sai rook to d1. Now king moved to d8 by Nawaz. Then king b3 by Nandan Sai. Both of them are playing nicely. Then Giraffe to d6. Then Nandan Sai turn. Giraffe to e3. Both of them are playing now Giraffes. Now it is time for Nawaz. He is planning, calculating. So far 1-0 lead. Yes, he moved Giraffe at a6 and check to white king. He removed the check by moving king to b2. Then he moved rook to c6. Now he captured Giraffe at d6. Now Nawaz, let us see what he will do. He captured Giraffe at d6. Then he moved bishop to d5 and k d7. Now Nandan Sai. He moved rook to pawn d6. He too captured by king. Now king moved to a3. Now Nawaz is planning to move king to c5. Now white king moved to a4. Then black Giraffe moved to d5. Now Nandan Sai he moved king to a3. Now Nawaz he moved his knight c6. Now rook to c1. It is the end game now. King moved to d4. Now king to b3. Knight captured at a5. Now king b2. Then king moved to e3 mostly for crowning win. He is planning Nawaz. Now king c3. Yes, is very cleverly he moved bishop at h6. He removed that 6. Now it is a check. Yes, he moved rook to the corner. Yes, he moved bishop. It is a check to white king. Then he finished. Yes, he captured rook at a1. Then he moved Rook. Then one step ahead. Nawaz to win. Yes, he won by the crowning. So winner of singles finals is Nawaz by 2-0. Straight win. 2-0 games on Nandan Sai. And winner and runners finals they received a trophy, cash prize and medal from the National Best Teacher Awardee R. Prabhukumar Sir.